We see our peak in terms of permanent housing, a cumulative peak. 16, 17, and 18, we're going to see some thousands of homes that need to be built. Timing, you're talking about the Cameron LNG project, you're talking about the Sasol ethane cracker. The second bell curve, we named that the GTL bell curve. Right now, that GTL is going to be so big, and that's a Sasol GTL. So that GTL project then brings on such a big number, it's going to give us a second bell curve in housing 19, 20, and 21. Our big concern maybe 2 years ago was whether the permanent housing market would be able to satisfy what we thought the demand would be. We are very encouraged now with the numbers that we see coming that the market is going to pretty comfortably satisfy that. We see a big bell curve in demand in 16, 17, and 18. We see somewhere in the neighborhood of just under 10,000 units needed over the next 10 years. That's a manageable number for the market to satisfy. In terms of supply, the numbers are coming. You know, these developers have known for a while, and we've been providing them with these numbers. So we're pretty comfortable with permanent housing over the long haul. Temporary housing really is to satisfy the needs of temporary construction workers, or those people that are going to be here for some short period of time building things. Our big concern and where we overlap, especially what we're seeing here in this community, is the use of permanent housing for temporary use. We have become a very strong component of, I should say, employee villages. Now, that's not a popular thing in our area right now. It's quite a contentious issue because do we want them next to our neighborhoods? Absolutely not. Do we want them in our communities? That's the big issue right now. But if we don't put those things somewhere in our area, then those construction workers and those temporary workers are going to gravitate to permanent housing, which means overbuilding, which means stacking up multiple people in single-family residentials, which means cutting out of inventory, not having permanent homes for people to buy and rent. So the more we use that for temporary housing, the more we're skewing our permanent housing market. The study itself really is a collection of data that really was a feedstock for the regional impact study and for what we now call the strategic plan and implementation strategy. So if a company comes in and says, we still see a need for 500 residents, single-family residents in Jeff Davis Parish, you know, those numbers will be provided, and it's up to the market to determine. You got to buy, you got buyers, you got sellers, and you got to finance. You know, so it's all those components that the market just kind of fixes itself. Because of the magnitude of this, we have a big risk that we're going to miss those things if we don't provide good data, and we think we're providing the best data that's available out there. So.